All right, everybody have a good weekend?
Yes.
Yeah? Nice weather. Was it hot on Saturday or what? Huh?
Was it?
I didn't go outside.
For my son's, my 6th grade son's football game on Saturday, it rained, and then that sun came out right as, oh my God. And then they came over and said, hey, could you work the chains? And I was like, oh. So I was working the chains, man. It was just moisture radiating off the field. It was crazy. It was so hot. Those chains are harder to work than I thought too. You know? I kept like pulling on the other guy and going in the wrong direction. So, all right, listen. Congratulations to the group. On Periscope, you're watching our morning scrum. I'm Matt Manero, Commercial Fleet Financing out of Dallas, Texas. I hope you guys are learning something from us, because I think that's the challenge on Periscope. There's not enough good learning going on Periscope. There's a bunch of lip smacking going on Periscope, but is there any real good learning? So when you watch our scrums and our scopes, I want you to get some takeaways from it. So record week in here yesterday. Congratulations to everybody. Which is very interesting because 2 weeks ago was our record week. So in the last 3 weeks, we've had 2 record weeks, 2 of our biggest weeks in the history of our company in the last 3 weeks. So awesome job. We'll bring in lunch today. Do you guys have a place that we want to be ordering from in celebration of our operations department and the hard work that they put in to get those record numbers? We're going to order lunch in today for everybody. They don't deliver.
I'll pick up.
Nothing but fillets and styrofoam. So listen, today's message is what happens when somebody leaves your organization, because our man Chris resigned this morning. All right. So,
What about his deal?
huh? What about his deals?
Nick.
His deal, singular, not plural, singular.
Oh, you got.
Huh?
I was thinking.
But here is what happens. So it's always interesting to me when somebody leaves, because Chris sends me a note this morning. Says, first email is I'll go to 100% commission. The second email is I resign. So I'll take my 100% commission off of my one deal. Doesn't work like that, pal. Sorry, buddy. Doesn't work like that. Okay. But in his exit interview, which was about 10 seconds, the thing that Chris struggled with the most here was self-actualization. So who knows the term self-actualization, right? Dre, you're our Rice guy. I believe it's a Maslow theory, right? I don't even know what it is.
Maslow's hierarchy.
Nick, you're a theorist, so you're a good guy on this topic. It's Maslow's theory of hierarchy, right?
Yeah, it's the hierarchy of needs. It's once you've achieved physical comfort, emotional comfort, and then you can achieve self-actualization, which is total self-awareness. At least in theory.
Total self-awareness. I like that term. It's the hardest thing for most people to achieve in life, right? Let alone in this place. I say to everybody when they come on here, the hardest transition you will have about coming to our organization is that you will be forced to conduct self-actualization. You will be forced to look in the mirror and make a decision on whether or not you actually can achieve your potential, or if you'll just continue to play at whatever level that you were at previously. And eventually some guys implode on that path, on that journey. And that's what happened to him, right? He just couldn't get his hands around the pressure that was being created in his mind every day of how do I get to what I'm capable of getting to. And he bailed, all right? So it's not detrimental to our organization, but it is important to understand that the self-actualization process is probably the most important and most difficult thing that happens here. Now, you want to add the 10X rule on top of that as some methodology or structure that clarifies what self-actualization is, the reaching of your potential, right? Isn't that fair to say? I don't know whether Maslow actually uses that as a term. I think he does. That it is a fight, a quest to reach your potential.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, I don't know who's
He actually says you can't reach that unless you've
done the rest.
accomplished the rest.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So maybe we should spend a little bit more time even understanding what the rest is, right? But it's a wake-up call. When you get here, it's a wake-up call. Everybody's experienced it, right? I mean, raise your hand if you've experienced the, oh shit, I gotta do more, right? So you might go that way on that one, Paul, right? There were a lot of hands up right there. Look, man, it's a tough thing, and it never goes away. That's the crazy part. It never goes away, because the closer we get to our potential, we only realize that we actually have more potential. And some guys and gals thrive on that, and some people implode. And that's what happened with Chris today. He just couldn't do it anymore, okay? A loss for the company, not in a dollars and cents standpoint. Is it a loss from a personality standpoint, from laughter and all that? No, right? But is it a loss that we actually went through the process, that we gave someone the effort, that we attempted to give someone the skill set and the chance and the opportunity to take advantage of the platform, and they didn't do it? Always. That's always a bummer. It's always unfortunate.
Andre really like that.
He didn't do Periscope anyway. No. So anyway, listen. So I think the takeaway is what happens when somebody leaves the organization. I always have to look back on why. And I look back on everybody who's come and gone. I can't remember their names anymore, and I usually can't remember much about them. But I know for sure that the reason somebody leaves our organization is they couldn't handle the self-actualization pressure of what is it that they're actually capable of. And secondly, without question, they never did the work. And so 3 weeks ago, I had a meeting with Chris about his call volume and his talk time. He missed. I said, we're going to meet next Friday, which was 2 Fridays ago at 3 o'clock. We'll meet and see where we are. He missed again. Last Friday at 3 o'clock, he missed again. So the reason somebody doesn't make it here is they can't handle it. They can't handle the fact that now's the time to go and reach their potential, and they also don't put in the effort. It's always the same. Call volume, talk time, app flow, close, skilling up, it all matters. It's all part of it, okay? So we're sorry to see somebody go. I don't like it when it happens like that. It impacts growth. It takes a lot of energy. But in this situation, there wasn't much of a rev gen that was lost here, okay? So on Periscope, how do you handle it? First thing we will do is we'll dig into his Golden Gate. We'll see what kind of deals working he had. Chris will get paid on the one transaction that he had that was funding, so I agreed to go ahead and pay him on that. He deserves that. But then we'll take his emails and we'll spread them. We'll reassign his stuff to somebody else in Golden Gate, and then we just move on. Not a big deal. The downside is that we gave somebody an opportunity to take advantage of our platform, and one more person wasn't able to do it, and that's always a bummer, okay? That's always a bummer, because I promise you that guy will go do something else, and in the back of his mind, he'll be saying, damn, I wish I'd pushed myself harder. I wish I'd done it in their way and not my way, because that was always the challenge with him too, right? He thought that he was doing better week over week over week, but he still wasn't reaching our minimums, okay? You can't fool yourself like that. All right, so that's our message today. Bye-bye, Chris. Somebody write it down. We'll talk about it at the Christmas party, all right? Add him to the list. Okay, we got a week and a half left in the month. Big month on store here, 13.1 in the pipeline, and that's not deals working. That's waiting on docs and further. So that's a big, big, big month in store here. Let's keep pushing. All right, everybody on Periscope, you got any questions on what you do when somebody leaves your organization? Anybody, Kwame?
Nope.
How many people we got on Periscope?
21.
21. Everybody's still checking their Facebook feeds and getting coffee and all that BS.
They're all looking around making sure their bosses didn't come in.
They're all looking up Maslow's hierarchy. All right, thanks everybody. Let's rock and roll.